Coming from the roof. It's coming from the roof.
This is Michael Kamber for the New York Times. When I first visited Mosul 10 months ago, U.S. commanders said then that the situation was improving. But I was shot at on my first patrol, and daily explosions rocked the city. But now, Americans in Mosul are touting increased Iraqi military capabilities. U.S. leaders have said that a self-sustaining Iraqi army is the key to an eventual U.S. troop pullout. I wanted to see for myself, so I hitched a ride from Baghdad to Mosul on an Iraqi Air Force C-130. The cargo plane, Iraq's only functioning military aircraft, was filled with machine guns and ammunition for the city's embattled Iraqi forces. Now Mosul had become Iraq's most dangerous metropolis.
The insurgency was squeezed up from Diyala, Kamber, and Baghdad to Mosul. God willing, it will be the final resting place for Al-Qaeda.
Together with a Times reporter, I embedded with the 3rd Armored Cavalry Regiment, a skeleton force of 2,000 U.S. soldiers in a city of 1.6 million. U.S. firepower is being paired with Iraqi manpower.
So it's important that we're doing combined operations because we bring some assets to the fight that they may not have, like helicopters and other things like that. But they bring the ground experience.
American training units, known as military transition teams, are a key part of the U.S. plan.
Iraqis, and what we're trying to do is get them so they are more capable as we progress towards transition of operations out of coalition forces and into the Iraqi army hands.
One of the Iraqis' main obstacles is a lack of vehicles and equipment.
We have 15 Humvees. When they get back to the battalion, for example, how many soldiers can these Humvees carry?
Maintenance problems have cut this further.
We do have some battalions that are down to between 8 and 10 operational vehicles, so that's a significant decrease in their combat power.
Iraqi Humvees offer little protection against roadside bombs. Some police trucks have no armor at all. Despite the lack of vehicles, Mika praises the Iraqis.
I've seen a lot of growth in Iraqi security forces, so that's a positive note. And yet we do have some issues with their logistics and those type of things that we're trying to work through.
COPs, or combat outposts, are the key to taking back Mosul's worst neighborhoods.
We're at Rizal Circle, which has habitually been a very contentious piece of terrain. A couple of weeks ago, they decided to establish a COP, a combat outpost here.
While there is still some violence, it has quieted down since the outpost was established.
This is 100% Jaish responsibility, right? Iraqi Jaish. You're up to the job?
Yes.
Security had improved, but the Iraqis had rendered the neighborhood impassable.
They did.
Yeah.
Colonel Meeker asked them to scale back their dirt berms. As the colonel met with the Iraqis, there was an explosion in the distance.
Yeah, see,
We were told later that an IED had disabled a coalition vehicle. There was no word on casualties. From the combat outpost, the patrol moved on to an Iraqi checkpoint.
where you're standing right now, this is the fill for the crater where the V-bid hit this cop about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks now. I'm sorry, 4 soldiers died and 7 wounded from 1st Battalion.
Since this week, we have had many mortar attacks and machine gun attacks.
The Iraqi soldiers sleep on the ground in tents. They have no blankets.
If they supply us with these reinforcements bunkers, it would be better than the tents.
The Iraqi resolve and morale seems strong, but they said they weren't ready to take over security anytime soon.
With God's help and the efforts of our brave soldiers inside the city of Mosul, we're gonna arrest them, and some may die and some may escape, but we will never leave any trace of them very soon in the city.